Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we are live on a Sunday afternoon, ready to do some podcasting. Find us everywhere that you find podcasts. The official weapon of the show is
folding chair,
and the unofficial sport,
bullet ball,
and bullet ball extreme. Don't forget to sign up for our Patreon if you haven't signed up. If you're not premium already, it's another option. You can go premium. We just put out shows for the people that are premium over there. So you guys got a new Nerd Off, new Balls Deep, new pregame, new spoiled movie review. And yeah, and then there's also people that just want to do just a tip, $5 a month, and you can just get, you know, one episode extra a week. It's random how it's picked. And then the other thing that you get there is we email you, or we send out a little post there that lets you know when we're about to do one of these live shows that are behind the paywall. So like if you want to watch us do Balls Deep Sports with Justin, see all the behind the scenes, you want to watch us do pregame, you want to watch us do the Nerd Off, you can watch it, because you know there's the video elements to these podcasts as well. Meaning like when we do the Nerd Off, I actually play the video of the video games that we're talking about when we're reviewing them and saying how we, you know, oh, I like this, I like that. So, you know, if you want a more interactive experience with a chat room, you know, you can get behind the paywall and experience that with us.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. What else was I gonna say? Leave us 5-star reviews, or you get extra commercials during the feedback episodes, which I'm gonna get my money one way or the other.
And also, don't forget September 2nd, which is our wedding anniversary, is also the Black Guy Who Tips Day. So I'm telling you in advance, so you can go ahead and get your t-shirt, your mug, your sticker, whatever it is that you're going to get, so you can represent that day. People put stuff online, they tag us, and we reshare it online. It could be old shirt, it could be a new shirt or whatever. You know, we do live shows. A lot of people wear our swag to the live shows and things like that. And you know, for some people, you know that you've been wanting to represent us in various different ways. This is a great way for you to show your support.
All right. Do you have any banter? I don't think I really. Let me check to see if I do. Oh yeah, I guess I do got some banter. All right, here we go. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Talk to me. Banter. Talk to me. Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter. I only have a couple quick things. The first one is I've been going to the movies. We've been going to the movies a lot lately, and I didn't go this week because the movies that came out I wasn't that interested in. And the only one that I would have went to see was Weapons, which is apparently about a bunch of kids in a town go missing except for one at 2:17 a.m.
I wasn't going to see that one.
I know. It's about me. I know you. This is my banter, and I know you scared like most black people. But I was thinking about going to see it, and the only reasons I didn't go see it is because everybody was arguing on my film Twitter, because like Twitter, the algorithm is, you know, I'm trying to train my Twitter algorithm to show me shit that I actually want to see.
Right.
And so there's a few safe spaces, but if you think about it, most of the algorithm is going to show me the most contentious, like what's the most likely thing to get a response. So apparently it decided this week that I should see everybody arguing over Weapons. And the argument was essentially, it was from a bunch of people that I don't know, it felt like they were being a bit pretentious or whatever, but they were saying like people are upset because this movie, they're saying it doesn't have a real plot and it doesn't make sense. And then they were being real snide with those people, like the movie doesn't need to make sense, it's about the feeling and da 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 da. And then the other people were going back being like, this movie has no plot, it doesn't make any sense, I don't know what the fuck they made this, blah blah blah. And all I could think was like, yeah, and this is I'm gonna skip it, cause the most important part of watching movies is not fighting about them on Twitter to me.
Nope.
It felt like motherfuckers left the goddamn movie theater and immediately hopped on their phone so they could fight. It's like you're only watching so you can get ammo about this argument you're gonna have with these motherfuckers on Twitter that disagree with you.
Yeah, yes, and and I feel strongly about this, and I understand other people don't function like me. I don't have to be in the know-all, and I don't have to be up on everything current. Some people are real bad with FOMO. Like, it's something within them that when things come out and they jump, whatever happens, like, they have to consume it and they have to watch it, regardless of if they like the bullshit or not.
Well, you're saying it as if people went to see the movie knowing they wouldn't like it.
Some people did, yes.
I'm saying I imagine most of the people that saw the movie were hoping they would like it. They didn't spend money to not like a thing. I think most of these, it's just their opinion that they didn't like it and they didn't think it made sense. And then the other people, they see movies all the time. I know some of them. Like, these are people that are on my timeline. Like, they're not trolls. They go see the movies because they always go see movies. Some of them are movie critics, you know. It's just interesting to watch that collision happen where there's people that's like, I just didn't like it. I'm a movie critic. I see movies every week for my job or whatever. This is one I didn't think made sense and wasn't good to me. Happens all the time, you know. I can think of some movies that I think are good and some movies I just don't like, that I think on both sides of that equation I'm like, didn't really make the most sense. Like, the plot was all over the place, but I either enjoyed it or I didn't. Like, Midsommar was one of those movies for me where I was like, it kind of made sense but kind of didn't. I did enjoy it, but I wouldn't really argue with nobody about it. So I think it's interesting to see that people, the first thought was not, let me share what I thought, but also like, let me debate it and argue with you about you not enjoying it or you enjoying it.
Okay, and for me, I understand that, but I guess my standpoint is some people do see shit. They spend their hard-earned money on shit that they don't like and don't watch. They do it all of the time. And the thing is, because the internet is a place for arguments. And there are some people who truly watched it, consumed it, and didn't like it. That's cool. But there are a percentage of those people that their whole thing is the arguing part. Like they get their kicks out of arguing online. And so, you know, for me, I do feel what you say, because when I go watch something, I either like it or I don't, and that's kind of the end. I don't consume things for the sake of arguing, but because of the age of the internet and just how people interact, sometimes people's whole thing is, I'm going to start shit just for the sake of arguing, regardless of if the movie was good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, it's just interesting, because I know what you're saying. I think the only contention I have is I'm not talking about the people that are just seeing movies that they don't think they will like and spending their hard-earned money to just be in the conversation. I'm not even talking about those people.
Okay.
I don't know who those people are. I don't even know how you would parse out which people are for real left the house to enjoy a movie and who was like, I can't wait to hate this. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's something I can't even imagine. So I don't like, I'm sure they exist. I can't even imagine what kind of person is spending at this point $20-$30 at a movie theater to be like, I knew I would hate it, but now I get to fight, you know. At least not for weapons, but maybe I'm thinking maybe people
more
do that with bigger
poles.
Like Marvel or something.
Yeah, more tentpole
movies. But anyway, my point was it was so interesting because I don't think they watched it. I think they watched it and they didn't like it.
Which is
I just
fair.
But I think what's interesting is the fight about it became more bigger than the movie. And one of the reasons I hate that shit, is not, debate about it, go on your podcast, go on your Reddit forums.
Right.
What I think sucks is they always end up kind of spoiling the movie.
Yes.
Like they always go back and forth and it's like, well, if I was on the fence or I was like, sounds controversial, maybe I should see this. Well, now I know what happens because y'all were arguing about, no, it did make sense because in the third act when this happened, I'm like, well, all right, I guess hopefully by the time I get a screener for this at Christmas, I will have forgotten that y'all spoiled the shit out of it and then I can enjoy it my own way. But yeah, it's so interesting how much arguing is such a big part of movie culture now.
Yes, and it kind of sucks for just moviegoers across the board because, like you said, it's a percentage of people, and it's okay if you like it, and it's okay if you don't like it, like genuinely, and genuinely, you're not trolling or anything like that. But I agree. That's why sometimes for certain movies that I'm like, oh, I want to watch these things, I go see it Wednesday night or Thursday night. I go see it like immediately because, like you said, people like that spoil the fucking movie, and you're like, well, goddamn, I have to watch this immediately because if I wait till the weekend, I'm gonna open up whatever platform I own, and somebody gonna be fussing and arguing about either they liked it or they didn't, which is fine. But some people, when they go online, they just spoil, and you're like, well, you're ruining the movie for people who actually want to go see it at a later date or didn't have the time, couldn't get off work, or whatever the case may be.
And then the last thing I was thinking about, what is the appropriate way to mourn a porn star dying? Because I always see people so uncomfortable with the idea. You know, people like, if like porn is a job like any other job, people watch it, but people also have a lot of hang-ups about it. You know,
it's a service.
Yeah, a lot of people have hang-ups about it, you know, from religion, societal shame, stereotypes, all that stuff. Like, it's like it can't be separated from that type of guilt that people feel as well. But like, I saw the other day, this Brazilian porn star, Victoria Beatriz, who was on the come up, no pun intended. She was one of the ones, but she passed recently. She was in critical condition at the hospital, and then they just announced it on like Twitter or like Instagram. Like, the porn companies announced like, this person dead now. And of course, you know, all the stereotypes that come with it. But once again, I have to say, like, maybe because I've kind of divorced pornography from the shame part of my brain, where I'm just like, whatever, clearly this is $1 billion industry.
People are watching.
I don't need to do the performative, like, I'm disgusted with myself. I'm not disgusted with myself. I'm going to watch it again. But I think it's funny because, like, there's other professions where people either have mental health struggles or drug addictions and stuff like that, but there's not shame around it. So Prince overdoses, Michael Jackson overdoses. There's tributes. We're playing music. We're going to like at every at the annual BET Awards. There's a tribute for the person. There's in memoriams. Porn is like in this shame vault for people where it's like they can't say like damn or like you know what
because it is a loss. Yes.
Yeah, like you can't be like, oh man, I was a fan or whatever. It's got, you gotta just, you know, if anything, it's like, you know, it's a shame they go through so much. You know, she probably had a lot of trauma and stuff.
Yeah, you see their views or whatever go up online, you know, but it's one of those things. But that's probably basically the only way to kind of contribute.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Even when the views go up, there's other people that'll be like, you sick motherfuckers, look at these views going up. Meanwhile, if some rock star passes and their streams go up,
right,
we're like,
no
yeah,
problem.
people are probably thinking, it's just funny. It's like, are people jacking at half mast? You know, man, like, are they, you know, is it a sad jack, a 21 jack salute? Like, what is
happening?
Why do we feel so guilt ridden about the idea that, you know, this porn star is dead? And I follow Cinnamon Love on Twitter, who's a former porn star and also like a very big advocate for sex work, and like she's been at the White House. Like she's an activist. She's big into it, and she'll talk about this all the time too, where she's like, you know, people try to attach this shame to it, but like, if, you know, what's the woman that, if Amy Winehouse dies, I mean, they make a movie about her.
They do.
People play the songs. Sometimes they release posthumous albums, like Tupac has had.
They do documentaries.
Yeah, we're like, we mourn them and their work in a way that is like, you know, we would not feel bad about it. Like, and it doesn't matter how Tupac died a violent death after making much violent music, and yet I know real people that just cried and just miss him to this day and still talk about him. Porn is like back under the bed with this shit. Like, you hide this, okay?
Put it back in the shoebox.
Is everybody just sadly, you know, just watching
individually
porn,
by themselves.
you know, how do I, like, are they, is everybody just, yeah, like there's no collective place. Like I went to the Reddit because I knew I was going to talk about this on the show. So I went to Reddit and searched her name to be like, I want to know what people are saying. And people were acknowledging like, man, it's sad she passed. But then it's also weird because you can't, well, I mean, you can in that form, but in general, it would be bad form to be like, man, she was so great. You know, she was so good at porn.
At her job,
but
right.
if like Jimi Hendrix died and I'm like, he was so fucking good all along the Watchtower, I can't be like, man, she was so good. When she did the 6-man gangbang, motherfucking nobody else was doing that.
She was out there doing an Eiffel Tower. She was a beast.
They talk about DPs. She was on like trapeze, nigga. She was on the trapeze. You can't, it's just weird that we can't, you know, that we can't even say anything about it. It's such an odd thing. And like I said, because of the stereotypes of like porn stars, trouble, trauma, they gonna die. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of porn stars who
don't have that background,
done porn, you know, some continuing. Shout out to when the OnlyFans came along, because you found out that a lot of your faves weren't really retired. They just were tired of putting part of their check up to a company. It was like, oh shit, Carmel is still out here. Oh, I see you, sis. My bad. I thought you was out of the game. She's like, I'm in it for me. But it's kind of interesting to watch like how we've attached like a narrative to each of these people regardless, and then these stories become the stories that are like, this is what porn is, this is what it does to you. But like I said, we don't really necessarily extend that to other things where people, you know, there's a bunch of famous actors who, you know, Matthew Perry OD. We're not like, don't let your kid go into acting. Don't, hey, listen, man, you need to cut that acting shit out, okay? It's gonna make you do drugs and kill yourself. So anyway, rest in peace, Victoria Beatrice. We'll miss you. All right, let's get to what do we do first? Yeah, let's do politics till we get mad, I guess.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, we can't get fooled again.
Tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
All right, here we go. A shooter who attacked the CDC headquarters was a 30-year-old man from suburban Atlanta, and he attacked the CDC headquarters because he believed the COVID vaccine made him suicidal.
So one out of the bazillions of people that took this shot. Word.
He was armed with 5 guns, including at least 1 long gun. And then he went into he shot up the building, then he went into a pharmacy across the street. And I guess he took himself out. It's interesting because I think this is the real cost of these conspiracy theories. And it's not just a game.
That misinformation. Yep. Misinformation and disinformation is real, and dipping your toe in it is not fun. You know, it actually is not a game.
Yeah.
And when the information gets out there, it's really easy for people to be persuaded. Everybody thinks that they're above being persuaded, but they're not. Like, they're not. Everybody is susceptible to being tricked, even though everybody thinks that they're above being tricked. But everybody listening to the sound of my voice at some period of time has been tricked by somebody. So you have to be aware and alert to these things, because a lot of times these things have partial truths to them, and with them having partial truths, you'll accept the whole thing as a truth, and it's not a truth at all.
And he killed a police officer, I believe. You know, that's wild. The suspect's father contacted police, identified his son as the possible shooter. Law enforcement told AP. The father said his son had been upset over the death of the son's dog, and he had also become fixated on the COVID-19 vaccine. The family lives in Kennesaw, Georgia, an Atlanta suburb about 25 miles northwest of the CDC headquarters. he shot up the CDC campus where thousands of people work on critical disease research. Yeah, it's and the thing is, man, I feel like on my phone once or twice a day for the last week at least, I've got a live shooter on campus alert from my news app. Live shooter at this, live shooter, and it's not just the CDC. Just there's just so many shootings. The commonality, of course, is just the access to guns. But there's just so many fucking shootings, and we try to discuss each one as if it's like an isolated thing of like, well, the CDC and the vaccines and RFK Jr. and
it's a collection.
It's like, well, the common thing is people was just shooting up shit because they could go get a gun, and it's not hard in America to get apparently 5 guns to roll up on the CDC. 5. And the thing is, like, all the laws and rules and protections that people have are all these they're all under the idea that the person you're dealing with is a sane person who at least wants to preserve their own life.
Right.
And so often in these cases, people leave the house expecting to die, if not being like planning to die, like I'm going to kill myself or something.
Yep. A lot of times they do. Either they kill themselves or the officers kill them. They're like, either way, like you say, the decision is made on once I shoot this first bullet, today is my last day on earth. And the thing is, what do you do when you have all these pretty rules and somebody says, fuck your rules?
We are deeply saddened by the tragic shooting at CDC's Atlanta campus that took the life of Officer David Rose, said RFK Jr. The blood is on his hands too, in my opinion. Like, you are part of the reason that there's so much anti-vaccine and anti-CDC sentiment. Trump putting this motherfucker in charge is ridiculous. He's firing people that are on the vaccine panel. He's defunding vaccinations. There's people that can't get COVID-19 shots anymore.
Right.
Your pharmacy don't know what to do. Like, it's really fucked up what they're doing. And part of it is activating people like this. And so I don't put it past them. And I don't know the guy's race. None of the articles I found had his picture in there. And then I saw there were fake pictures that posted online, which tells you another thing about the environment we live in right now. The narrative is so important to people. The truth doesn't matter. When you have these mass shootings or violent eruptions that typically seem very right-wing coded, the right wing takes an active role in spreading misinformation. So they will put out like pictures of black people, pictures of trans people, and be like, this is the shooter. And it's not something that's isolated, meaning you'll see like elected officials sharing it and stuff like that. And it may or may not be true. In the wake of how fast things happen, we don't normally know these things right away. And so and since our news source is social media, which is not verified, it's very easy to misguide people. But most importantly, when someone has biases, their biases inform what they want to be the truth.
Agreed.
So all they need to do is present, it was a trans person, it was a black person, it was a gay person. And that it's not going to be undone in a lot of people's minds. They'll go, yep, that's what it was. I'm not looking at anything else. Saw Charlie Kirk say it was this, whatever. And so, this guy shot up the CDC. Let's see. We got more, of course. It's never over.
Nope, never.
There's these are kind of interesting ones. There's a couple who fled Putin's Russia seeking asylum in New York City. They got grabbed by ICE in a Trump crackdown. Ukrainian immigrant Kate Karolinko saw her husband. He was on a bench on the 10th floor with chains around his waist, wrist, and ankles. That was June 27th, 3 days after the couple went to Lower Manhattan Immigration Courthouse for what they expected to be a routine hearing for their joint asylum case. They'd fled Russia in 2023, fearing her husband's anti-Putin politics and her Ukrainian nationality would lead to persecution. And then Trump and them was like, you under arrest.
Yeah, what they gonna do? They ain't do nothing but send them back.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we say that like they haven't been sending people to the wrong countries.
Yeah, I guess just send them anywhere.
Right.
Wherever it is, it ain't gonna be America.
Yeah, back makes it sound like they're at least looking into what's going on with you and being like, oh, okay, let's make sure we send this to send you where you came from.
You liable to be sending someone you don't speak the language.
Yeah. There was another dude that owns like Trump burgers or some shit like that. Like he's getting deported. Yeah.
You own Trump burgers.
Yeah. Trump burger owner in Texas faces deportation after ICE arrest. Roland Biani from Lebanon, who opened a chain of restaurants in a support of president, says the charges are not true.
It don't matter, dog. You ain't pure white American, so you got to go.
Well, Karen, I guess it's a to-go order now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's he's 28. I now part of me wonders if like he's just one of the smart. He's like a chameleon that camouflages itself right next to the predator's lair, and it's like they'll never think to look here, because like maybe that's what you do is you go so full Trump that it's like he'll never check my immigration status. And unfortunately for you, Trump doesn't actually run the government. He doesn't really give a fuck about you.
Nope.
They just got some racist white nationalists that's doing all this that don't care if you selling Trump burgers or not. Now Donald Trump may be like, I'll pardon him. I would, suspend it. Don't let him stay. He's got my burgers on the plate.
But that's after the fact.
But I just feel like the people that are working on Project 2025 or whatever they call it, those motherfuckers are not. They don't care. They like, oh, Brown, get out.
Brown. That's all they see.
Yep. But yeah, that was Immigration Corner.
Immigration Corner.
Yeah, people getting deported. Let's see what else is happening. Well, we know this. I don't care about this. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting gets its funding cut, and I think a lot of people don't really know what all it does. Roughly 70% of the corporation's money went directly to 330 PBS and 246 NPR stations across the country.
Yeah, NPR taking a huge hit because of that.
The cuts are expected to weigh most heavily on smaller public media outlets away from big cities. So you're losing a lot of rural
NPR,
like rural news and local news. It's likely some won't survive. NPR president estimated as many as 80 stations may close in the next year. And that's just the next year.
Yeah, that's not including the ones that eventually will close because of these cuts, too.
Yeah, that's just the next year. That's a lot to lose in a year.
Ain't it though?
Mississippi Public Broadcasting has already decided to eliminate a streaming channel that airs children programming like Callaloo and Daniel's Tiger's Neighborhood 24 hours a day. Maine's public media system is looking at a hit of $2.5 million, or about 12% of its budget for the next fiscal year. The state's rural residents rely heavily on public media for weather updates and disaster alerts.
Because they're out in fucking nowhere. Yes. This is how they get their information.
And meanwhile, who's in charge of FEMA? Who's in charge of the helping the weather people? The government. And what kind of budget did they just pass? So it'll be big things it'll be, war documentaries, finding your roots. Of course, Big Bird, Cookie Monster, Sesame Street, all that shit. Gone. And I think also the sad part is in a cultural war that we're having, people will not feel that these are unifying shows that we should want to all of our children to experience. The lessons about sharing and equality, caring, and inclusion
and empathy and things like that. Yes,
that's woke now.
Right. And also, I did not know this, but particularly with like a lot of their like the cartoons and all that stuff, they draw like people of different like nationalities, races, shape, size, and colors, just so they can get children used to, everybody isn't small and thin. There are going to be people that are big or with freckles or missing limbs or have a, disability or whatever it is. These are things you kind of want to instill in children at a very, very young age. But what's so funny is that everybody says that, and as you know, people get older, they beat it out of children, you know, to be resistant to things that aren't like you. But it's very important that children get these lessons, because for a lot of children, these lessons do stick.
Trump fires jobs data, the person over the jobs data platform for Bureau of Labor Statistics. So they adjusted and put out the actual numbers for monthly job figures, which show that jobs had slowed in July, but also was much weaker in May and June than they had previously reported. So they gave us the truth without the Republican lie on top of it that, you know, oh, everything is great because Donald Trump says it's great. And so he fired her. Erica McIntyre, I think that's how you say it, or maybe it's McIntyre, but they fired her. Said she will be replaced with someone much more competent and qualified, meaning because she did the actual job and told the truth, she has to go.
Right. And you know what? It don't matter if you tell us the numbers are high. People will still be losing their jobs. So you might as well tell the truth about what's happening, you know, because everybody already knew, not everybody, anybody with any common sense already knew when Donald Trump took office and the policies that he had in place, people were going to lose their jobs. All the mass cutting that Doge did, all the mass slicing of the federal government, all the firing and rehiring and all that bullshit, it impacted the economy. All the slashing of the federal budgets and shit like that, it impacted the economy and it impacted jobs. People were losing their jobs left and right, depending on what field you were in. And not only that, you were in one field, you got impacted. Other fields got impacted by the downsizing of that field. So, you know, a lot of these jobs and shit are connected to other industries more than people are willing to say. And so those numbers make sense. And, you know, it's not like they haven't made errors before and be like, oh, yeah, those are numbers. You know, we went back and we redid the numbers. These are the things for the adjustment. So it's not like this is something obscure or abnormal, you know, or something like that. Donald Trump just didn't like her telling the truth. It was the motherfuckers is losing their jobs, bitch. They losing their jobs.
Yeah, here's my thing. At some point, my guess, I don't know, this is speculation. Let me just start with this speculation. I'm not informed by anything but my own intuition, and I could be 100% wrong, but it just makes me wonder if someone could get to the bottom of this and tell us. I wonder if she was under pressure to report false numbers those 3 months.
I can see
and
that.
That's why those numbers were inflated, and that at some point she went, fuck that, these are the real numbers, deal with it, knowing there would probably be retaliation. She may even get fired. And then they fire her, and part of what they can use as the justification for firing her is that you went along with it in the first place. So they go, well, you were the person in charge of these numbers the last 3 months. You said the numbers were wrong. You're fired. I'm going to get somebody in that's going to get the numbers right. Now, more than likely, I'm just going to get someone that's loyal to Trump who'll say whatever the fuck I tell them to tell you.
Yes, sir.
But I wonder if, I guess part of me, and look, I'm not trying to blame this woman. I don't know what happened.
Right.
But part of me thinks,
because of that pressure,
part of me thinks, don't ever concede from the jump. Don't help them at all. Don't let them come in. It's better to lose your job day one, but having been like, I will not help you sell this lie to the American people.
Agreed.
Than to lose it 3 months later and have them go, well, the motherfucker said the numbers was wrong 3 months. Why would we keep them on? Anyway, it's just totally could be. It's totally speculation on my part, but it just maybe an investigative reporter or somebody can talk to it, because the other part with professionalism, a lot of these people will not snitch, meaning even after losing their job in an unfair way, they won't come to the media and be like, hey, this motherfucker told me to lie.
No,
I gave them the numbers in a certain time. They turned in higher numbers than what I told them the numbers were.
And that's what they're betting on. Because like you say, it may have been the thing where they may have reported the real numbers. But when it came out, like you said, you just never know. That's why you need somebody to investigate.
I want
to find
somebody
the
to
truth.
tell. I need people to tell. And I know sometimes they get anonymous stuff. I'll take that if you want to.
I'll take that
because
too.
that, to me, anonymous in this case means we talked to her and she said keep it off the record, but this is what happened. But somebody should be looking into this, because I don't there's too much has been allowed under the complacency of, well, what do you think he's gonna do? And that's why you can't allow people like this to be in charge. Because your vigilance immediately dissipates, because you're like, well, I was expecting the worst. So you're never going, the outrage can never be equivalent. Whereas with Democrats or whatever, we always end up with like, well, I was expecting perfection and I didn't get it. I'm constantly outraged at them. With Donald Trump is, I always expect the worst, so I'm not gonna ever really make a stink of anything, because it's always terrible, and it just keeps robbing us of our democracy.
Yes, it does, which I don't want to go away. And when you tell people that, people look at you like you're a fucking lunatic because they think everything is fucking written in stone. It is not. Nothing in this country is written in stone. When you have people in charge, they don't give a fuck about your rules. They don't care about the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. They don't care about anything that is written. They go, bitch, we gonna do it and see you in court.
Texas is going through it because they're trying to pass a just completely unfair reconfiguration of the electorate and the maps that they have to basically give Republicans like a complete advantage. They want to erase like Jasmine Crockett's entire district so that she can't even have a seat in Congress. And so the Democrats in that state have flew the state. They fled the state. And I believe J.B. Pritzker, I think that's his name, he was like a billionaire and he's in Illinois. He's like, y'all can come here and I'll just set y'all up, like, you know, I'll take care of all the expenses of y'all staying here and shit, just so that they can't force y'all to vote to pass this congressional map that is going to absolutely destroy people's democratic right to vote. What happens is that the media and pundits and even a lot of citizens who treat politics like sports, what they're thinking is this is a blow to the Democrats. And I think we have to get out of that type of thinking, not because it in addition to being kind of misguided, it's not the truth. The truth is they're taking away people's power of their votes.
Yes.
That's what's happening. That's what Texas has always been doing. Yes. And whether it's through, you know, the gerrymandering, whether it's through these voter suppression efforts, you know, I like Larry Wilmore, but I remember once he has a podcast, I think it was called like Black on the Air or something. Anyway, he has a podcast and he had a preamble up front and he was comparing like the idea of people thinking that voter suppression now is in any way comparable to the shit that our ancestors went through. And I get like his general distinction of like, you know, people was literally shooting and killing people at the polls sometimes, and you know, and some of these grandfather laws and all this stuff. Like, I get what he's saying, but it also dulls the impact as if this stuff isn't really affecting especially black voters. It is, and it might not be a gun in particular, but it is not necessarily something you can just overcome. You can't just outvote it. You can't just get enough voter IDs to do it. It's bigger than that. And I think us trying to compare it is just another way of like making it seem like this struggle isn't real. To be like, it belittles the current struggle and not just the struggle, the outcome, right? Because the outcome is black voters are going to be disenfranchised. And while we go, well, it's not as bad as it was in Georgia in 1803, it's like, well, I hear what you're saying, but who the fuck gives? I'm live right now and they're stealing my vote today. They're making it harder for me to vote today. They're changing the rules on when you can vote, how you can vote. Can you have water while you're standing in line? Can you vote on a Sunday after church? Can you take a bus? Can you know, stuff that black people traditionally have done. And this is very important because Democrats are fighting in this way by running. And I mean that in the best possible way. That's not shade. They have to do this because these are the recourse they have. They basically have to make sure they're not in the state until I want to say December or some shit. just to make sure that the Republicans can't steal the election. And it's very serious. The Attorney General in Texas is proposing that they arrest Democrats, that they pursue them outside of the borders of Texas.
No.
Like, this shit is very fucking serious.
Republicans have done this before. What the fuck are we talking about?
Right. Ken Paxton's cheating ass is out here like, we need to see what we can do. We can arrest them over this walkout. I think it's very fucking serious, and I don't think it should be taken lightly. And I applaud these Democrats, because they may... this is the kind of thing where, like, they're gonna wait till Jasmine Crocker's in handcuffs to be like, man, this is kind of serious. You know what I'm saying? People still think there's some safety guidelines and rules where that won't happen, and I'm not sure it won't in America today. And
my biggest thing, I've said this before, and I will continue to say this again, being down south is very, very frustrating, because and there's no shade to Larry Wilmore. He can say that shit because he don't live down here. And, he's not directly impacted by it. And so, a lot of times people that come out with them strong ass opinions like that, they don't actually have to live in the day-to-day and in the grind, and they're not actually in the communities that's actually being directly impacted by it. And also for the Democratic Party and the liberals, this is an excuse for them to quote-unquote write off the South. But bitch, we in this boat together. Democrats are in this boat together. Regardless of where you are in the country, you are being directly impacted, directly targeted, systematically by the Republican Party and this president. So we actually need each other. And just to act like all the black and brown people get what they deserve just because they happen to live in a state that isn't fair to them as citizens, And the thing about it is, a lot of these people don't get to vote because of these laws. They can't vote because of these laws. Their votes are suppressed. And depending on what people say, they go, oh, well, why don't you just move? Bitch, what happened if I can't afford to move? Bitch, what happened if I don't want to move? It's like I said before, let me go to your house and look at you and tell you, just pack your shit up and leave tomorrow because they're just doing fucked up shit. Well, it's getting to the point that no matter where you live in this country, you are directly impacted by this bullshit. New York is not safe. California is not safe. Washington State is not safe. These places where these liberals stay and live and love and brag to the rest of the country like they the motherfucking best, and we ain't got no issues and we ain't got no problems and we don't got to deal with the motherfucking racism that they got down south. Bitch, yes you do too. You got the same goddamn problems. It might be presented in a different way. It might have a different twang to it, but bitch, it's the same. We are all being impacted by this shit, and we all need each other.
I just want to know, where am I supposed to fight for my rights then?
Right.
Like when they was marching across the bridge, the Edmund Pettus Bridge, was you like, just move? You know what I'm saying? Like, was Martin Luther King the greatest American we've ever produced in this country or not? What are we applauding activists for? What are the history lessons that we are passing down? What is that supposed to teach us? Supposed to teach me to run? It's supposed to teach me to just be okay with this shit? Yes. So just because they're doing it in a slicker way, it's not that different. Like I said, I won't say it's the same as literally killing someone at the polls. I'm not a fucking idiot. I do understand the difference, but some of this stuff is the same. Jelly bean counting shit is like the same kind of bullshit they do.
Literacy tests.
Yeah, all that shit is the same kind of. The idea is the same. Just because they updated the firmware to 2025 doesn't make it okay.
Right.
And I think it's very important to note, because what has been said by as a fighting, to try to fight this, what has been said by some of the blue states is like New York. I think Governor Hochul, I think is her name, is like, well, we'll redistrict all of our shit. We'll gerrymander our shit so that all the districts are blue. And California Governor Newsom said, I'll do the same thing in California. We'll trigger California maps and make it all blue. Here's the only thing. And I know I like the energy. I appreciate the threat. I really do. But I want people to stop and think about something really quick. Is that possible? The reason I ask, is that possible, is because will the white voters go along with this plan, because that is the reason you'll never have equal and opposite on the Democratic Party. They can't, with the demographics of America, gerrymander, jerry rig, whatever, voter suppress their way out of free and fair elections into just one-sided Democratic elections. Now, that is not to say you can't tilt the scales. That happens all the time, where we'll just draw a circle in this district and this one looks like this and this one. That can happen. But the idea of you thinking you can predictably be like, we're gonna separate all the red and blend it into the blue, and then it will be a blue state. I don't think you can, because white people historically do not vote Democrat. They vote Republican, and it doesn't really matter what state they're in. It, like, a lot of times the blue is achieved by having minorities and people of different backgrounds in different areas. It's not achieved from the way that Republicans do it, which is a lot of times like suppress the shit out of the votes and then draw the map so that you just carve out the black neighborhoods. There's 70% white people in America. How are you going to carve out that type of advantage for the, like I said, I love the threat. I just think we should not be thinking, well, when Texas does it, we'll just retaliate. That's a mistake. We need to make sure everything possible that Texas cannot do this.
Right.
That period. Texas should not be allowed to do this, because it will just be the first state of many states that decide to do this. And I think that advantage will help Republicans, or at least I don't want to play the game and the gamble of, well, maybe California adds 40 seats and New York adds 40 seats, and maybe I don't know that'll happen. And then I think Democrats, the elected Democrats, I'm not talking about the voters, I think Democrats would end up taking such a huge reputational loss if they promised something and did not deliver.
Right.
A California that gave you 20 more seats, or what, if they were like, well, shit, now that we look at it, we're only going to gain like a couple of seats from moving everything around. People would be like, what the fuck? Y'all just told us that if Texas did this, y'all were going to be bringing us a bunch of new seats of Democrats. What happened? And so I think, and then morally, of course, you just don't throw away the people that live in Texas like that.
Right. And I guess my biggest thing of when I look at this is you set precedents, and that's what people fail to realize. And all you gotta do is, okay, y'all Democrats are in office now, but what happens when y'all not in office? Y'all lose y'all seats, or something happens. Y'all will be looking like Texas. Because the thing is, what I've realized, a lot of Democrats talk a big game, but they ain't about that fight. Like the Democrats and a lot of the liberals.
Now, when you say that, who are you talking about?
The voters.
Oh, okay.
They're not about that fight. Like they are not built for the fight that's going to have to happen if you change these rules and then offices change and somebody else get in there. They're not going to have that wherewithal or that demand, because it seems like once Republicans get in office, all the fight and a lot of these liberals and Democrats leave and they just follow the motherfucking rules. Like I said, the populists just showed me that they talk a big game, they yada yada yada, we gonna do this, but when it comes to actually actions, they not built for that. Like they not built to sustain a consistent anger. They not built to put like this. And the thing is, a lot of their demands are very unrealistic for the Democratic side, but you don't have those same demands for the Republicans, and you never will, because they don't care, nor will they hear you. So you don't care about what they do. And I agree with you said, you do it and you don't hit it, you're going to have a bunch of Democrats out here whining, complaining, and flopping when all they were trying to do was help.
Yeah, I just think numbers wise, look, and I hope I'm wrong, because here's the other part of this, that if Hochul and Newsom are telling the truth, why are you waiting for Texas? Why wouldn't you just fucking do that now? if that was all, it was just, hey, we just gonna go ahead and change the districts. It's clearly not that simple,
right?
If you're waiting to do it in retaliation. So it just makes me wonder if it even is so, like, and look, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it. I wonder if it can make an equal and opposite thing for liberal people, because I just don't trust white voters in this math.
I don't either.
A lot of people don't even know California's gotten redder. Even though it's considered a blue state and a blue stronghold, it has gotten redder and redder and redder every year.
A lot of states have. New York has too.
Yeah,
on the low, right?
So you just have to be, this idea of like, no, we'll just make it all blue. You're assuming a trust in these white people to be like faithful Democratic voters, in a way that I don't know. Anyway, but I hope we don't have to see this. Let's go to the comedy part of this, and then we'll wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Politics, who we get mad. Where do I start? Oh, you know what? Let's start with Mark Maron. Mark Maron, who just put out a special that I really enjoy. It's called Panic, I think is what it's called. And it's on HBO Max. I forget the name of the brand now. HBO. It's on wherever you stream HBO, guys. They don't want to keep changing the names. It's not my fault. But because he put out this special and he stopped doing his podcast, he's basically doing a tour showing that, hey, I'm doing the podcast circuit. And so he went on Howie Mandel's podcast and they put this clip out. And let me know if you guys can't hear it. I'm in the right browser, so you should be able to, but I just never know.
Right. Point, it's lazy and sloppy and hackneyed. To be in a fucking club where, I'm walking down the hall at the comedy club, at the Comedy Store, and, in one room, someone's doing their bit about trans people, and then I get down the hall and there's someone on stage going, well, I guess I got to do my bit about trans people. Like, no, you don't. You don't. It's hack now. I mean, you guys got the freedom you wanted. You can now say whatever you want. They're defeated. Their rights have been denied. The policies that you guys encouraged with your stupid material are now policy. And now, half the people under the umbrella of anti-woke, we've lost a tremendous amount of democratic-leaning ideas and movements. So whether they knew it or not, that's what they were spearheading. So now it's reality, and you want to still keep kicking them?
I don't know that the comedians have had that much power.
Are you f***ing out of your mind?
No, I'm...
Get in his ass, because he one of them. I hate to be like that, because every time he come out, he's saying some dumb ass shit.
Karen's talking about Howie Mandel.
I'm not going to...
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You can't separate. Like, if the movement is like, we're being censored. No, you're not. You're not. There's no constitutional censorship issue with your free speech. You say things, and in a democratic shit show of an environment, like Twitter or whatever, there's cultural pushback. And I'm not saying that it wasn't. It was pretty bad in terms of people getting canceled and stuff, and I agree that was an issue, but that's a specific issue. To frame it as some sort of free speech problem was a misdirect. It
right.
It wasn't a free speech problem. It was that people were getting cultural pushback. That is not a constitutional issue. No one was being put in jail for saying anything. That's a free speech issue. But my problem is you're going to start talking about anti-woke, and that's going to be your point of view. That's going to be your ideological, grounding for what you do. Okay, that's fine. But why does it have to be the same four things? It's like they talk about the same shit. And I don't know a better definition of hack.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So he's been on one on the podcast circuit.
I 100% agree, and I'm glad he didn't let him spew whatever bullshit, because he was about to say some bullshit. He was like, no, what we not going to do is act like these people's freedoms of speech was violated. They were not. And like he said, you got what you wanted. You wanted this. This is what you were, like he said, whether you knew or not is irrelevant. This is what you was pushing. You won. Okay, now you need to go on and say all the slurs you want to now, because you quote unquote you got the right to, but you always have had the right to.
I really enjoyed him and Bill Burr naming names, because I felt that there's not enough of this energy being pushed back. And Mark and Bill, for the most part, have kind of been like, they've been keeping it real. You know, I think Bill still does a little bit of the both sides bullshit, but in general, like, they're not afraid to call out their peers and stuff. And someone said they don't listen to Mark. Was he talking like this before the election? Yeah. Mark Maron's always talked like this, but I think he's been more emboldened after the election to name other comedians. But he was doing that before. He's done it on his podcast before. But on his special, he calls out like Theo Von and shit like that. I know he's talked about Joe Rogan. You know, he's done radio for years before he even did his podcast. So yeah, I appreciate him keeping that energy, because I think and I'm going to get to it in a second, but I think there's other people that aren't. For example, Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon went on Colbert's show after Colbert was canceled, or told that they would be canceled in a year.
Right. And
he was like standing in solidarity with Stephen Colbert. It was him, Jon Stewart, Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know who else went on there. Maybe John Oliver. I don't know. All the white guys who still have late night shows because no one else does. And so they went and showed solidarity for Colbert, of like, you know, this was fucked up. CBS is cowards, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I didn't really go up for that at the time. Kind of because I don't really know that those guys are righteous in that they are standing with him against Trump. They're standing with him against the CBS. They're standing with him in solidarity of, like, you know, whatever. Or if they're just guys who are like, look, we're straight, rich, white dudes who all feel that we are entitled to have late night platforms because that is what our careers led to. And if those platforms lose $40 million in a year, they still shouldn't get canceled because, god damn it, we're white guys. And I know that's a very cynical take, and that's why I didn't express it at the time, because I know that you know, that's informed by some jaded feelings of my own. But still, it's kind of like when I look at Jon Stewart, a guy who would, I think, defend a Theo Von. He would he defended Tony Hinchcliffe's talking at a Trump rally that was a xenophobic rally. And so under the thin blue line of comedy, he'll capitulate to cowardice and be like, hey, we're just joke tellers, we're just comedians, we don't have any real power, you know, we're just clowns, guys, stop looking for us for anything. And meanwhile, the clown is at the president's inauguration. Joe Rogan's at the president's inauguration. They're putting him on the biggest platform in the media landscape on the Joe Rogan podcast, and not just him, but his vice president and Elon Musk. And yet they're powerless. They have no power. And yet all the time, comedians try to tell us that they're the real philosophers of the day, the only ones speaking truth to power, the people that are so brave. They all want to get the same credit as comedians who challenged free speech rules and were arrested and stood up to the government and shit. And yet these motherfuckers can't wait to kneel before Zod and be like, actually, you know what, man, it's just jokes now. And so I like that. In that case, Mark Maron's in Howie Mandel's face, like, nah, bro, you can't be full of shit. You can't be lying and saying it's about free speech and the government and the Democrats when it's just people on Twitter don't think you making jokes about trans people's genitalia is as funny as you would like them to think it is.
Right.
That's it.
You're
not a fucking activist. You're not a civil rights hero trying to be a bully that punches down in a country that is going to pass the laws that you will then go on to be like, I didn't see that, because you don't have nothing to say about these laws.
Right.
You know, I still ain't, where's the Dave Chappelle set about all this draconian fascism that Trump is doing? Where the fuck is that shit? You know what I mean? Like, they just disappear into the background. When it was time to pick on the trans kids and the artsy kids at your old alma mater, oh, you couldn't wait to fuck them up, you know? But then when it's like people that got actual power in this country, it's crickets. It's quiet for them. And so Jimmy Fallon recently had Greg Gutfeld, who is a late night Fox News late night host, and does a bunch of racist shit, you know, recently tried to reclaim the word Nazi, he had him on his show and he gave him Jimmy Fallon gave him, pat on the head type, soft pedal interview. All of a sudden now it's just, hey, we're just hanging out, man. We're just having fun.
Yeah, that in a period of time you could.
We're just clowns.
Yeah, you could have said no, not him.
Why was he on the Colbert Show? Why'd you go on the Colbert Show anyway? Late night with Colbert. What was you trying to prove? What was you trying to prove there? What was I supposed to take from you doing that? Because then you turn around and be like, hey, we're all buddies, right? Great Gutfield, the fascism you're spreading, that's fine. It's just jokes. We're pals. Let's do a softball interview. I'm not gonna ask you a single tough question. We're just gonna show the world we can get along, have the conversation.
Right. Bullshit,
man. All right, I'll play the Bill Burr clip a different day because I am mad and I do want to move on. So let's move on to a different segment. Shit, what do I want to do? You know what? Let's do some gender wars. That always lightens the mood for me. Coming off of heavy politics and anger segment. So why can't I find the gender wars music? What am I doing wrong with my life? Maybe if I type it in the search bar. There we go.
We're going to war. The gender war. There's a war going on outside. Gender war. There's a war going on outside. Gender war.
Anyway, shout out to Mark Maron though for being like, no, we not friends, you bitch. White people, I don't know why white people don't tap into that energy so much more often because of all the people that can get away with it. It's y'all.
Them.
Y'all the ones, like, it's a cost to be paid for so many other types of people when they go, fuck you to your face, and now they basically boxed out of a career. Mark Maron can say fuck you to all them people and still be Mark Maron. There ain't shit they gonna be able to do
right,
about
he still gonna make his money. He can still do his thing. He's not gonna...
Sorry.
No
and
problem.
That's why they scared.
Right, he's not gonna be ostracized. And the thing is, people...
God damn it, why is it doing that? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
People need to have his and Hunter Biden's energy. Like, just have that, no, fuck y'all. Y'all was wrong. I'm white too. What you gonna do? Type of thing. And I'll just say I appreciate it coming from men and not women, because women is considered
Rosie O'Donnell
too.
already been there,
right?
Ellen DeGeneres has been there. I appreciate that it's white dudes who are being like, fuck that, because somebody got to do it, man.
Right. Everybody can't goddamn bow down.
You're not gonna be able to be friends through this.
No.
All right, anyway, gender wars. Sorry, we meant to lighten it up, and here we go again. Someone sent this to me on TikTok. It says, the caption, don't skip this video. This might be the most unforgettable moment of my life. Hashtag lawnmower, hashtag moment. What does this have to do with gender wars? Clean the garden, lawn care? Okay. Somebody is under investigation if this ain't about gender wars, because I don't even know what this is.
I didn't break any laws. I just wanted to help someone who couldn't afford help.
I don't think this is gender wars. I'll skip this one. Let's go to another one. I don't know. Maybe I saved the wrong. Maybe it's not their fault. Maybe it's mine. Maybe I saved the wrong video.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a different gender war. Trick Daddy.
The rapper?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't know Nan. Take it to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Trick Daddy faces backlash for saying that he's not into women over 35 years old.
Sir, if you don't get on.
The 51-year-old rapper claimed older women are damaged goods and too emotional.
Coming from you? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who looks like a rapping Mr. Hanky from South Park.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, he went on the Nene Leakes show. Oh, she got a show? And he just went off with no filter. During the podcast, he shared his experience with lupus, how the diagnosis affected him personally and professionally. He also spoke about his prior run-ins with the law and the things he learned about maintaining his financial freedom and lifestyle that the entertainment industry brought him. Though it wasn't until the topic of dating came up that the conversation took a turn.
And my thing,
yes,
ain't like these women are hunting you down, sir.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You talking about a group of women, people don't give a fuck about you.
I have not really heard a lot of women going after how they need to get with Trick Daddy.
Yeah,
But it could just be my
yeah,
crew.
could be my demographic too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe it's a lot of I don't hang out with a lot of under 35 women, so maybe in the under 35 women, maybe it's a lot of them.
He's at the top of the queue. I don't know. I don't keep up with them.
Yeah, maybe they sitting up there like, I want to ride that Slip and Slide Records. I don't. I want him to. I call him Trick Zaddy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they want. They need a thug.
I'm just gonna drink my water and be hydrated.
So she asked him about his relationship status with his estranged wife Joy Young. And then that led to them talking about him currently dating. He said, I'm very wide. I'm like wide open, very whorish, man. With the exception of you and maybe 2 or 3 other women, right? I'm not attracted to no women over 35 years old. Y'all standards are too high. Y'all are too emotional. Y'all are damaged goods from y'all past relationships. After the clip went viral, one ex-user tweeted, I hope I never reach this level of delusion in my life. Another said, y'all standards are too high. So you want younger women to do less for them? Telling. Your standards is too high as a slash against you in mass is so hilarious.
A lot of men feel that way though.
I know, it's just such a funny thing to be like, I can't believe y'all have a high standard. I have a high standard of you not being 35 and having high standards.
And being 125 pounds.
Yeah, but he did, it did attract a lot of people being upset. So I feel like that was mission accomplished. That is part of the job. The clip that I saw from the Art of Dialogue where he said this had 386 replies, 1.7 million views. Some of the replies sitting up there looking like a pile of shit, talking about damaged goods. Yeah, okay. His raisin looking ass has the audacity. And then they had a gif of the California raisins.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. You can't be like that and look the way you look and think people gonna be like, okay.
And half-baked brownie in the pan is calling women 35 plus damaged goods.
Oh no.
This man sitting here looking like the literal interpretation of Doo-Doo Brown, talking about women in their 30s, please. I don't like women look like women over 35 face ass. It's always bad when it's just a picture of your face and they didn't doctor it. That's my favorite Twitter reply is when somebody says something about somebody's looks and then the reply is just a close-up of their screenshot. Like I know this motherfucker ain't talking. It's like that shit is like pretty. It's like 100%. It's pretty effective. Damaged goods. Florida Evans tripping. Now why you gotta do Florida like that?
Right.
What she do to deserve that? He's looking like that, saying women are washed up after 35. Okay, Unc. They're damaged goods. What the fuck is he? They about to cook him so bad they gonna have to re-spark the colorist conversation.
Oh no.
I don't even know what that means. Bitch, you look like boiled sweet potato, sir. Fuck you.
Oh no. Oh no.
I don't know why, but the sir, dude, that was the part that got me. Sir,
Be
fuck
respectful.
You look like a boiled sweet potato, sir. Fuck you. All right, Karen, 0 to what do we do? 0 to 10 on these? What would you give it?
Oh, we do 0 to 10.
Yeah, for how good the original Gender Wars material was with Trick Daddy.
I'm going to give this one, like I said, didn't hear the video because he went on Needy Leak Show. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give this one a 7 because it served its purpose and he is a lightning rod. Like, just him open up his mouth saying anything, talking about the opposite sex is automatically going to start a gender war. Just period.
Okay.
Because you're going to have some men that's going to defend him no matter what because, some men think that men can look any old type of way and bitches just supposed to fuck them because they got a dick. And, they're going to come out the woodworks and then you're going to have a lot of, women just like, hey, not you. Like if you're going to come out, we're going to come out with these jokes.
What I found interesting is that nobody seems to be on his side, which is not good for gender war. It's normally better when people think it's a 50-50 thing, so people can argue about it forever. But instead, everyone's just kind of piling on. Here's a clip if you want to hear it.
Maybe you and one or two other women, right? I'm not attracted.
Okay, let me start right there. What is it about misogynistic men that they can't get the plural and the singular of woman and women right? That is,
because there is a difference.
That is very consistent and underrated. Not enough people are noticing this, but like they struggle. I don't know why. He's like
maybe you and one or two other women, right?
You and one or two other women,
right?
Is I will not. I want a woman or whatever. It's like, what is happening?
I'm not attracted to no women over 35 years old.
You're not?
No.
Well, honey, I know you are attracted to me, honey.
But y'all standards are too high. Y'all are too emotional. Y'all are damaged good from past relationship.
I am not damaged.
You don't even realize you're damaged. You see?
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think I'm with you. I wanted to give it a 10 to be honest, because it goes viral and it's the perfect thing to dunk on, and I think that but it's so one-sided. I don't know that anyone, like I know you said there's some men that I haven't seen one. Like I just feel like even the men don't want him as the avatar of the people that agree. Like, yeah, Trick Daddy he's talking about that's my life. Like they're like, no, maybe it is my life, but I don't want Trick Daddy to be the symbol of my life. So I think the messenger is kind of hurting this a little bit. So
yeah, that's why I don't get a 10.
Yeah, I think I would go like a 7 on this, but it is good. Like it the
it's
the audacity that makes it good. Where you're like, I know this motherfucker cannot be serious.
That was my whole thing. When I was like, you can't be serious.
Yeah, so I do get that part of it, but yeah, it's pretty terrible. All right, let's see what else I want to talk about before we start wrapping this thing up. Do I even have a lot of Guess the Race? I'm trying to think. I guess I do have some. All right, well, let's do some Guess the Race, everybody. And start wrapping this bad boy up.
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
All right. This is Omaha, Nebraska. Is you bout it, fool? Is that the illest nigga in Nebraska? Is you bout it, fool?
Shout out to John.
All right, let me know if you guys can hear this, but you should be able to.
Their video of a thief who either doesn't like to change clothes or he has his special stealing outfit. Either way, police hope his specific style will look familiar to someone. You can see it only in KETV Crime Stoppers. The first incident's bold, stealing from a fitness facility while people are working out nearby. This is 11 o'clock the night of Sunday, June 22nd, Blue Moon Fitness near 108th and Q. That's our suspect scoping out the area. He starts working on the cash drawers at the front counter. It's not easy, but it turns out he's resourceful and strong because he ends up using a pair of scissors to pry open the locked box, getting to the cash inside.
Damn.
After opening one, how much cash do they even keep in a gym?
Right. Most of the transactions are going to be electronic.
Yeah, like who's paying cash at the gym?
Right. Who walking in the gym with a full ass wallet?
Yeah.
Goes to work on a
I thought it was going to be he was breaking into people's lockers or something, but he's stealing cash from the desk.
Second drawer. Keeps going even though someone's walking right through the lobby. He pockets the money, picks up his wallet, his hat, and his phone, and he heads out. The second case was an even bigger workout for him. It's a few days later, 2:20 in the morning at a Scooters near 96th and Q. He's persistent because it takes him 10 minutes to pry open that window. Woo! Crawling in, he immediately tries to open a cash register, but it takes a lot of work. 11 minutes in, he goes looking for something else to use and finds a baseball bat. Going back to the register, he starts swinging away.
They had a baseball bat just sitting in the restaurant, which tells you, listen, these restaurants are dangerous. I keep telling y'all, minimum wage is real.
He eventually gets to the money inside, But there's a second register. It's the same routine. Starts with a hammer, switches to the bat, and at 3:05, he pries open the drawer, gets the bills, scoops up the change. He grabs a couple cans of what looks like Red Bull, and then finally, at 3:12, 52 minutes after the whole thing started, he simply walks out the back door. Okay, investigators want you to pay close attention to the clothes. On the front of his sweatshirt, the words, "Make America Gleeful Again." On the back, the words, "Kodak Fight." He had on those red sweatpants, possibly with the words "Grateful Dead" on them. And in the first theft, he was wearing a ball cap or a trucker-type cap with designs on the front and on top of the bill. Okay, do you know him or where he may live? Then use one of these ways to contact Crime Stoppers.
All right, Karen, guess the race. I don't have his name. Just what was described.
White. That shit took so long. They just not letting niggas sit there and stand there and people just walking all around them.
Oh,
just
the restaurant was closed. Nobody was in there.
Oh,
okay.
At the Y.
At the other one. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, they was like, and people walked past. I was like, yeah, some white person alert would have been up like, hey, what are you doing over there, donkey?
Let's check the chat room, see what they believe, this gentleman's race. Energy drink thief, white, and needed drug money. Those gym membership cancellation fees would make you do it, white. Deadhead, white. White crime in plain sight. Grateful Dead, Ozzy Osbourne, white. Pre-workout powder lift, white. Lieutenant America of United States of Meth, white. The correct answer is everyone said the same thing, white, and everyone got it wrong. He's black.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Soak it in.
And nobody stopped him?
Yeah, that's him. That's his Grateful Dead pants. That's the back of his hoodie that says Kodak Fight with Donald Trump and Make America Great Again, and him doing after he got almost shot, fist in the air. That's the front. Make America Gleeful Again.
Oh no.
This is when he went. That's him all up in the restaurant for 50 minutes breaking shit. This is him at the gym. Oops, sorry. This is him at the gym.
And people walk past.
That's a guy walking past him. Yeah.
Wow. And nobody's like, what are you doing over there? Do you work here?
Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't tilt the game in anybody's favor.
I'll take that L then. That's one time. I'm glad to be wrong.
Make America Gleeful Again.
That's
is
hilarious.
Wild business. Wild business. Let's do another one. Suspicious substance found at Sally Zetterower Elementary leads to arrest. An employee on the custodian staff at Sally Zetterower Elementary faces drug possession charges after a bag that was later determined to be cocaine was discovered in the school.
Oh no!
Friday, August 1st, according to a post on Facebook. The school resource officer Jessica Kite was notified by a school administrator that a member of the custodial team had discovered a small clear bag containing a suspicious white substance on the floor of a commons area inside the school. They sent the substance to the sheriff's office crime suppression team for analysis. It was confirmed to be cocaine. According to the post, safety director Todd Mashburn and school administrators reviewed the footage from the school security cameras. The review led to identification of a potential suspect who was an employee of the school. Pamela Darian was arrested. Has been charged with possession of cocaine in violation of a controlled substance law within a drug-free zone. Darian, who is listed as a member of the custodial staff, voluntarily surrendered. Man, that's messed up. So another custodian found the cocaine because they was doing their job cleaning up, and then they turned it in, and now you going to jail as a fellow custodian.
Right, you ain't meant the one like, fuck it, I don't give a damn, I got to go home, like I ain't trying to fill out no paperwork.
Meanwhile, if I gotta clean up, throw up with sawdust, I'm gonna need to be a little hot. I mean, it's only fair. At this point, y'all should be happy I'm not on crystal meth.
Right.
But yeah, they fired Pamela Darian. The post also states at no point did any children come into contact with the substance. The safety of our students and staff remains a top priority for both. All right, Karen. Guess the race of Pamela Darian.
Pamela Darian.
Cocaine possessor and custodian.
I'm going to go white.
All right. Spell the last name. Okay, the last name is spelled hold on. Darien, if that helps at all. Cokie Caucasian. Damn, Nikki and her man really fell on hard times. White, still going white for the long back in a bag. Black. So this one's more divided. Karen said white.
Yeah.
Some of y'all said white. Some of y'all said black.
I'm gonna change it to black based off of the spelling of that last
Okay.
name. Because I've seen it spelled variation different. You know what I mean? Like ways. I assumed it was another way.
Okay. White as the powder in that bag and up her nose. Alcatraz Latino. The correct answer is black. You got it, Karen. Many of you did go white and you missed it.
Yeah, that spelling, I was like,
Yeah. Look, I blame the Clips. They knew what they was doing, putting that album out on the
Pusha
street.
T.
I've been looking at the corners a little harder lately, thinking about getting out there, slanging that thing. I don't know. All right, so Karen is 1 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
But we still got the bonus round.
Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the race. Triple the race. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the points. Triple the race. Triple the race.
All right. A Florida man who said "I do" not one but too many times has been sentenced for his felony bigamy conviction. Henry Betsy Jr., who's sentenced to 2 years probation on July 31st after being convicted of being married to 3 separate women at the same time.
Well, damn.
None of the women were aware he was married to any of the other women, or that he married the women in separate counties, helping him avoid detection from the state as well. He's 50. He pleaded guilty to the felony bigamy charge in May. The outlet reported that he attended that court hearing with a new girlfriend by his side. Okay, he keep him one. What's funny, she was at the hearing. She didn't know what it was about.
She probably didn't.
She's like, listen, he is single and ready to mingle. I don't even know what this sentence is for. But at his sentencing, he was alone when he was confronted by all 3 women he married. See, that's how he keep them separate. The new girlfriend didn't see the 3 women.
Mm-mm.
He sold the perfect person when in reality he was none of those things, said wife Tanya Betsy, who unraveled her husband's deceptive plot when she began searching his name in county databases across the state, revealing he was still married to 2 other women, Michelle Betsy and Brandy Betsy. Now, what's funny to me is something had to be going wrong for you to search his name in all the county records.
3 different families, nigga. There's no way you was spending equal time with everybody.
Yeah.
You can't be going on trips for months on end. What kind of goddamn job you got?
She found me and she messaged me. I had no idea that she was actually still married to him, said Michelle. At the sentencing, the wives all said they met Betsy on dating websites and married him at their local courthouses. He said all the right things. His profile read, looking for a beautiful woman who understands the ups and downs of life, is trustworthy, and no games.
What?
He said, looking for a sucker. They say one's born every minute, but I need 3 of them.
They were trying to get them 4.
But the women told the court last week that his own games began in November 2020 when he first married Tanya after meeting her on Tinder. Betsy then married Brandy in February after meeting on Stir, and then tied a 3rd knot with Michelle 3 weeks after they met on Match.com. So he just stay on different sites.
Right.
Y'all better check the other profiles. He might be married on Christian Mingle, Farmers Only.
This is just the 3 that found out about each other.
Hinge. He probably married on LinkedIn.
You never know.
Some of them not even dating sites. He just on there. Like, how you get married on Amazon?
Yeah, how you got a TikTok wife, sir?
The 3 women told the court they believe Betsy married them to gain access to their finances. Well, hey, no romance without finance. We all know that. Betsy reportedly apologized to the 3 women and their families, as well as his at his. Well, which one is his? I apologize to y'all and your family and my family, which is one of y'all's 3 families, or maybe it's with this new lady is my family. I don't know. I'm always looking for family. I'm a family man.
Apparently so.
Call me Peter Griffin. I'm a family guy. I want to apologize to the ladies, and I want to apologize to the court administration and to the family and friends that had to be involved in this, because ultimately this is something that I didn't wish to be a part of.
What? But you were a part of it.
He didn't mean to be a part of getting caught, Karen. He wanted to be a part of having 3 different women's. The wives didn't buy his apology. What? They don't believe him. He avoided jail time. He's still logged as a convicted felon. Well, I can see why he would be confused, because, like, what is the law in Florida? Like, having 3 wives, I feel
Florida's wild.
3 different counties, that should be okay. As long as one of them's a gator. I'm sure that it was only said because it was recommended by his attorney to say, said Tanya. Do I think he has any remorse? Absolutely not. Hernando County inmate records reviewed by People show Betsy was released from custody July 31st after his sentencing.
So does it annul their marriages then? I mean, goddamn, 3 of them, they all can't be real.
I'd imagine it has to,
right?
ABC Action News reported that the judge ordered him to stay off social media and not have contact with his 3 wives. All right. I guess he's going to start pen pal records from the jail. Karen, guess the race of Mr. Henry Betsy Jr.
I'm going white with this one. Henry Betsy Jr. Yes,
All right.
I'm going white.
Let's check the chat room, see what they believe Mr. Henry Betsy Jr.'s race is. Betsy will do it again. Florida man white in the heat of the night episode black. Florida trigamist with 2 first names white. Next governor of Florida white. Whimsical white black. I bet none of them were over 35 black.
That's hilarious.
Papa was a Rolling Stone white. Every single one of them is white with the professional dating profile game. The correct answer is, Karen, you went black or white? You went white, right? You were wrong. He's black. And everyone who said black, you got it right.
Oh. Now, he ain't no trick daddy. He started talking, it would start a gender war for real.
Well, you think he has, those are his natural eyes or are those contacts, I wonder?
I think those might be contacts.
I just wonder, you know, because I feel like he has a type, and the women that he was able to scam, they are all white women. And I feel like, I wonder if he was limited in his ability to scam sisters because he got them eyes that seem like contacts. I just wonder if it was hard for him, and of course he showed up to court with his new white woman, so he keep it a certain way.
He sure does. That's a white ass name though.
Betsy,
Henry Betsy Jr. too.
Yeah, I just wonder if that was what happened, because I feel like when he came to court,
playing field is magnificent, man. Snow bunnies everywhere now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes I'm on a ski trip, and cause I ain't never pulled so many before. You know, it's like I go to these clubs down here in downtown, and it's like snow bunny heaven. You know, blonde hair, brunette hair. Hey, sometimes I go for the freaky one, the purple blue, you know, hair. I like the Caucasian girls. They like to feel on me. I like to feel on them. Double D's, hey, that's what it is.
Yeah.
One of my favorite clips.
I think he got a type. Okay. I think he know what he doing. All right. Whew. Sword ratchetness time. I feel like as soon as you show up with them color eyes, I'm like, he got 3 wives.
Something happening.
You a 3-wife dude.
You putting them in the days.
Them contacts,
get away from me.
Them contacts, you don't, nothing about you is real.
You will not get me vampire. Get away from me.
You know, just because you went to the blue-eyed contact store don't mean you a white man that can have 4 wives.
Right.
33-year-old North Bay Shore man armed with a sword was arrested for threatening officers. August 5th, 1:26 p.m., officers responded to a 911 call reporting a hostage being held at a house. When officers arrived at the home, Joseph Restiano threatened officers by brandishing a long sword and refusing commands to drop the weapon. A taser was deployed. With additional commands to drop the sword, the taser was not effective, and he did not comply with the police.
Oh, baby, you was on something.
Yeah.
When I've seen enough of them videos that when they start tasing people and they don't go down, it's like, oh, them is drugs. Because if you ain't got no drugs in your system and that electricity hit your body, bitch, you dropping like bricks.
Well, maybe he was on a mission to be the Hokage.
Apparently so.
At least one officer discharged their weapon, striking Restiano. Restiano was transported via ambulance to South Shore University Hospital and treated for injuries. There were no hostages in the house, so maybe he called it in and hoped to get like a death by cop situation.
Suicide type of thing. Yeah.
Anyone with information on the incident, blah, blah, blah. All right, y'all, that's it. Thanks for listening. We'll be back throughout the week. Hope you had a good time. We did. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too. Mwah.
Bye, everybody. Sign up for our Patreon. Peace.